Look, we back again, man. This is the second time that bullshit that happened, and I'm gonna promise y'all, the next time I'm on air. The next time I'm on air, this shit won't happen again. Everything's happening today. It's a Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Normally, you didn't see my shows before.
It's mostly
and you know it's mostly cool. So I want to apologize. I hope everybody is back. I see Light Slim is back, and I appreciate you. You is like, lady, you amazing. New York, stand up. New York, stand up. I love y'all. And why? We got Miss Kitty in the building, SRT, and if you don't know what that stands for, you need to go get a fast fucking car.
You need to go get a Mopar.
Get a Mopar. You'll understand what's going on. This woman is amazing. She goes fast, and I love that about her. So this is for her right here. Introducing Miss Kitty SRT. I know y'all can hear me now because we already just squared away this mixing board. But fuck that mixing board. I don't give a fuck how good it is. Our niggas just don't know how to work it. But I'm getting there. But I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate y'all being here. I have to say this before this shit break down again. You know that this week's or this month's spirit of the month is vodka. We got white liquor month going this month, and one of these bottles is for Miss Kitty SRT.
Thank you.
And that's for you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? This is Seagram's smooth vodka, extra dry. I'm a big Seagram's fan. If you could tell, I'm a little congested. I had, no COVID. No COVID. We'd already checked. I was at the doctor. So everything's good. But I got a bag of fucking pills and shit. So, plus I don't drink anyway. Everybody know that. I shouldn't have did her phone like that because I'm a dum-dum.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? She got stuff going and I didn't even realize it.
It's okay.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the pod. We good this time. And let me tell you how much a trooper she is. When all that shit happened, she was like, calm down.
It's going to work out.
It's going to work out. And I'm going to do the best mocking I can.
And he was like,
just calm down. I'm over here like, what the fuck? I'm ready to throw shit.
I'm like, it's going to work out.
This how dope she is. She brought her own lighting. So that face, would you look at that woman's face? She got a face that'll sink 1,000 shits like Cleopatra. She fine as hell.
It was actually Helen, but okay.
Oh, Helen of Troy, I think. That's right. Helen of Troy. That's how smart she is. Don't be. She's Encyclopedia Britannica with breasts. No, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to get her all, make her feel uncomfortable or nothing like that.
Not at all.
But she is beautiful. Hey, Miss Kitty, how are you, babe?
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. You can go ahead and pop that if you like.
Oh, sure.
Let's do that on camera. It's a celebration.
Yes.
It's a celebration. A celebration. I am gonna drink some of this though, because they say, champagne is good for when you got a cold. Believe it or not. I ain't heard that before. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm just trying to go ahead and have some today. I'll take a small little portion of it. And while you're doing that, oh, arriba.
Yes.
I might as well go ahead and ask you. I had a few questions for you. For those who don't know, this woman is in a car club. She likes cars that are like V8s, V10s, 300 and 400 horsepower vehicles, 500 horsepower vehicles, 600 horsepower vehicles. We talking about putting her foot down on the pedal and passing up highway patrol going, I didn't know couldn't go that fast. She wild like that. What makes a beautiful lady like yourself drive fast cars and do stuff typically women like you don't do? I mean, you're just really different to me.
I think it just has to be something that you're personally into. It's like I've always been into cars. Like growing up, my sister would be watching music videos, and back then was like Speed Network. I don't think it exists anymore, but I was, on Counting Cars.
Really?
That's the stuff that I like to watch. Because I was always kind of like awkward, so I was like, I wasn't really into like music videos and stuff. But
awkward?
Yeah,
wow.
Still am just a little bit.
Think so?
Yeah.
I'm on the outside looking in this situation. I don't see what you see.
Oh, okay.
I see way more than that, but I appreciate it.
Stay tuned.
Now, do you do any modeling?
I don't do any modeling.
So basically, you're pretty much a sexy woman that's just a straight up grease monkey.
Not a grease monkey. I considered actually going back into an auto mechanic career. It's still on my list of things because I just think there's never too much that you can ever really know. And I would definitely like to be able to get in my engine myself and like do little things here and there. So far, all I can do is like change oil and rotate tires and change.
That's it.
That's it.
Sound like you could do a lot more the way you be talking.
And
that kind of leads me into my next question, which really describes what you were just saying. How is dating for a lady like you? And are men intimidated by the fact that you know cars and you like to drive fast? And I'm sure you've had guys in the car and you've been dipping and it was like, damn, hold on to the seat and the whole shit.
All of that. I tell them to close their eyes.
Really?
Yeah. But dating, it's been interesting. I'm kind of like dating for the first time in my 30s. It sounds crazy, but I've always been kind of like a serial monogamist where I was always in a relationship. So it's like all the things my friends would be talking about, like, oh, he did this and da da da. I'm just like, oh girl, what else? What happened? What you did? Oh man. Like I couldn't relate. And now I'm sitting here like, oh man, it's out here. Like it's really going on.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Interestingly, what I found with driving a fast car versus driving like a regular car. The fast car, I create a lot of attraction, but not so much interest in me as a person. They're attracted, but they're not interested really. And then it's like, I find that I actually attract more guys that are like interested in getting to knowing me in my Altima. So yeah.
Oh, so typically when you drive your subdued vehicle,
yeah,
you get more responses.
I get more genuine responses.
Do you think is that the intimidation factor that I mentioned in my question?
Perhaps. I think it's definitely a role to play. More than anything, I just think, like you said, it's not typical. It's kind of an anomaly out there, and they're curious. But curiosity is definitely not always interest, and that's what I've been finding.
So it sounds like it's an up and down type situation at this point.
It'd be down, bro.
How do you look? I mean, look. I know looks. To me, looks are a big deal because you got to wake up with this person if you end up with them every day. And somebody asked me this question now that I'm talking about looks. She said, you put a lot of onus on looks and da-da-da. And I'm like, well, yeah. What about if you get with the person you think you're attracted to and you love every bit of them and they start to metamorphosize while you're in a relationship? Then what? Are you going to start looking at them differently?
Absolutely.
I would say so, too.
Absolutely. I think it really does come down to who you really are and not necessarily what you're trying to portray. It really does. And it's just like for me, what keeps my interest, because that's what it comes down to. You have to keep interest. And what keeps my interest is intellect. If we can't have a basic conversation, if the art of conversation is gone, it's gone. Like I don't know what's being taught.
I heard that a lot. I've been hearing that a lot from women. Do you don't think guys talk to y'all, or at least intelligently?
They do not want to talk. They just want to they have a goal, they have an agenda. And I feel like there's also these other elements that are more recent that are telling them that there isn't anything else to them, and that there's not really much in here going on except maybe purses and trips and stuff like that. And it's just like, wow, it's so disheartening. It's
on that level to where you just think they're talking about accessories. You're talking about accessories.
there's
Men
no,
are shallow as hell if they're thinking like that.
It's the pool's so darn shallow. There's no intelligent conversation. There's no intelligent banter. You bring up a subject and they're just like, oh, you're cute, and I'm just like, that's all you gotta say. Like, that's it.
Now that you done mentioned all that,
mm-hmm.
the circumstances on how we met. Now I'm buying a car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying a new car. Now I would shout out the dealer, but I'm a little pissed at them.
Yeah, low key, me too.
I'm a little pissed at them, so I'm not gonna mention where we were. I'll just say we was in the valley.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm buying, and I mean, I got the car. I mean, I bought it, and they, it's running well, good looking vehicle, doing what it's doing, low miles. But their sales department is really sketchy.
It's interesting, and that's why I walked away.
Yeah, and they talked about you after you left. I wanted you to know that. Now, the main guy, you remember the Middle Eastern gentleman who was the manager doing all the workups. He was like, "Oh man, I ain't got time to be playing." She told me one thing, then it's another thing. She said that he said that you said that you had X amount down, and then when it came to crunch time, he was like, "Well, I got this much." You said, "Well, I thought you said this much."
Yeah, that's not what I said. I was honest with my salesperson. I don't know what information he got.
That showed me a lot about who they were by telling me that.
Right.
That's her personal business. I'm looking at him like, well, that's kind of her business, though. You know what I'm saying? That's between y'all.
It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, I was sitting there, and all I really wanted to do was have them hang on to the whole, situation, because I wasn't going to walk away with it that day.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, hey, I'm going to say it. I was going to put 5 bands down, like, hey, hang on.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to put 5 bands down, hang on. I'm waiting for my insurance to cash me out because I totaled my other car. So I was like, as soon as that comes in, I'm back here, put down the rest, and we're in business. And it's just like, I did finally get the money, and I called them back, and they were like, oh, we sold it. And no, get this, I found the guy that bought the car, and they did not sell it at the time they said they did. So for me, that's bad business practice. I have another one. Could
you let everybody know what kind of vehicle that was so they understand the SRT in your name?
It was a vehicle like what I had. It was a limited edition 2020 Daytona Hellcat.
Ah!
It was white.
How much horsepower was that car?
That one is 717.
Jesus Christ! What's wrong with you?
What do you mean? What's wrong with me?
I even talked shit to you that day. I was like, "Girl, that's
basic.
What's so intrigued?" I was like, why a sexy woman like you is so intrigued with that? So are you street racing? Or have you street? And I know, now tell the truth, ain't no highway patrol in here. Ain't no LAPD in here. No, there ain't no Devonshire precinct in here. What straightaways have you frequented?
Irwindale.
I know what's coming up. Now, those are the legal races, right?
Yes.
Are they betting there?
Absolutely.
You give me chills just thinking about this. Because I want to go so bad. I want to see you do your thing. Okay. You already know how I feel about you as a person. And it's just intriguing as hell.
When I go again, I'm going to come
Please, because I'm going to just be like this. I'm going to be like a little kid. The thing that back in the day when we did it, when I was young, it used to be on Hauser in Jefferson. The traffic today is so ridiculous. You don't never get a chance to really do that no more.
Probably after midnight.
Exactly. It probably had to be super late. But I remember Hauser in Jefferson was one of the places that they used to do that. And where else was it? I think there was Broadway. I remember on Broadway and 113th, they used to go up and down the street there, but the traffic got a little thicker there too. But it's been years. I know in the Valley, they go nuts.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about
They had takeovers all over the Valley. And I'm hoping that you wasn't part of that one on the corner of Chatsworth and Zelja. No. They was spinning all in. It was going crazy that night.
No, I haven't been to a takeover in quite some time. The scene has definitely changed. Mm-hmm. It's gotten a lot more reckless. I blame COVID because they always kind of existed, but with COVID and everyone being inside and there being nothing else to do, it forced everyone to just like, well, at least I'm safe in my car. Because remember, in the beginning, we didn't know how it was spreading. We didn't know how susceptible we would be to just even be outside. People are in their car with their masks on because they're afraid it's coming through the vents. Like it was a interesting time to live. The best thing about COVID was the empty freeways, and I got my car right before.
I know you love that. I know you love that. What'd you get her up to on the freeway? It had to be late one night. You did that.
Oh no, it was broad daylight, 171.
Jesus.
It was. I love it because I like driving. I like distance as well. So I would go maybe a couple times a week from LA to Santa Barbara and back.
Just to do it.
Just to do it. Because on that particular run, there is a nice straightaway where I did hit that speed.
If we was together, you know you're doing all the driving, right?
Absolutely. I would tell you.
And I'd be like, don't kill us.
I'd be
just
like,
lay in the corner and
just close your eyes.
Go to sleep, babe.
Just close your eyes.
Do you, well, I've asked this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you street race? Is it legal? We've already covered that. And why is fast cars a thing for you? Just why? I mean, just explain. I know you said about your dad and growing up, and it had to be something that you grew up with that had to get in your soul to feel that way. So what was the real fascination and intrigue behind it other than just going fast? Is it the lines on the car? Is it the manufacturers? What?
I mean, when it comes to the speed itself, it's like you're in your own bubble because when you reach a certain speed, everyone else feels like they're standing still. You're going, like, for me, cruising altitude is 120. And it's like anyone in my car club that could keep up with me, you'd be surprised, that could keep up with me. Everyone's just like, yeah, this is actually not so bad. You know, of course, if you're in heavy traffic, but like when you reach a certain speed, everything else just kind of slows down. And honestly, I do most of my thinking behind the wheel. Not at 120, but I'm able to get a lot of my thoughts worked out, a lot of my planning, a lot of things that I need to take care of.
On a personal note or a personal level, are you a mom?
Am I a mom? Yes.
Yes. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 children. I have a 14-year-old daughter and I have a 9-year-old son.
Well, look at this. Now, first off, when people now, if you don't know that black don't crack, the woman looked 20-something. And when she told me she was in her mid or early?
Mid.
What? I look every bit 56. Life is hard on me, man. You know what I'm saying? I eat a burger and it'll be like, I'm going to stay right here in the corner of your belly. It just manifests.
You got it tucked in a pocket somewhere.
That's the crazy thing about me is I'm starting to look my age, and a lot of people would still come up to me now. What are you, 45? I'm like, come on now, stop playing.
I mean, honestly, if you take care of a little bit of the grades, you're still a very handsome man.
I ain't doing. Oh wow, still very.
You're still a very handsome man.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
From what I've been told, I'm kind of sexy to be, before I got my stature. I don't know what else to say on that other than I'm lucky. What are your ultimate goals when it comes to what you're doing? And what do you do other than this? Like, what do you do for a living?
For a living, I'm a nurse.
A nurse that could like wreck and treat her damn self at 200 miles an hour.
It might be that because you can't call nobody.
I swear. That really intrigues me. What are you in the trauma, ER, what?
No, right now I'm into private care.
Private
care.
Is that lucrative?
It is. Well, the client I have now.
I don't know why I knew you was gonna say it is.
It is.
Because she got swag. She likes certain things.
I like nice things.
You do.
And if it wasn't lucrative, I definitely wouldn't be there.
That's what shocked me. That's what shocked me when I first met you. It's like, this girl is buying this car. She came with X amount. And now tell the people what happened to your last car. That I saw the pictures. I was flabbergasted. You came out unscathed in that wreck.
Yeah, mostly unscathed. A little scratch here, bruises here. My shoulders were a little hurt, but yeah, I totaled my last car.
You did this, or somebody hit you?
They were making a U-turn on PCH, and I wasn't able to avoid them without going into oncoming traffic. So I took the hit. My side on the left side, I took the entire impact. Engine was untouched, but all the airbags deployed. That was my first major accident. I mean, everyone gets little, bumpers here and there, but this was my first major accident. Like, I think I sat there for like an hour. The paramedics came. Like, they tried to open a door and I closed it. I was like, leave me in here.
Were you in shock?
I was in shock. I was even now. Sometimes I close my eyes and I can see all the broken glass and the airbags, and I'm just like, and smell it, and I'm just like, this
brings you back there.
Yeah.
Have you had to talk to somebody about it? Because you still do what you do.
I still do.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it was something that didn't rattle you enough to stop.
I mean, you know what? It took me aback for a couple seconds. It made me kind of like step back and realize, like, you know what? I am mortal. I am human. I am fragile.
Yeah,
and I do have my children that I need to live for, and all that, all that jazz. So it's like, have I spoken to anyone about it? Not really. I have other stuff to talk about with my therapist. So
you do have one.
I do. I think therapy is so important. I think if we can get more people to do therapy, a lot of the issues that we're facing as a community wouldn't be so necessarily like debilitating.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's going to segue into some of the stuff politically I wanted to talk to you about. And the reason why I said that is the simple fact that we as Black people, the trauma that we have, let's not even talk about our ancestors, because we're children of slavery. Yeah. We are. If you're born in the United States, unless you can unless you can tell me your direct family trait, most of us are here because our back generations were in bondage. So we have no origin other than that, no home country other than this one, and it's kind of a slap in the face to know that you live in a place that really don't want you to thrive here. You know what I'm saying? And and lately we've been having a lot of people with influence speaking out about true facts of who we are.
Let me pull it up. Honey.
I'll name one guy, and we're going on. Kyrie Irving has been vilified,
I know,
destroyed all over the place. And this is the thing that really shocked me. They gave him 6 conditions during his suspension that he must do in order to be, quote, let back into the league. One of the conditions was he has to get sensitivity training toward the Jewish people. He also got to go to anger management for whatever reason. I don't know why he's angry. Seemed like he was very calm to me.
That's the stereotype of the angry black
man. Exactly. Their racist playbook is being played out to the utmost. This all started with Kanye. Now, see, Kanye, I'm on the fence with him for the simple fact that I know for a fact that there's some mental shit going on with him. But a lot of times people speak their truth when there's 3 things going on: when they're high, when they're drunk, and when they're not in their right mind. Okay. And he's saying a lot of true things. Charleston White. I call him Southern Sammy Davis Jr. I don't know if you know who Charleston White is, but
I have no idea.
He's an older gentleman that be out here talking cash shit about everybody. He think the gang members are crazy. He think they all should be in jail. He's the type of person he will call the cops, all kind of shit.
Oh, I think I know.
You know, the kind of eyes kind of funny.
Yeah.
He got a glass eye. Right. I call him Crazy Sammy Davis Jr.
And he's something else too.
Some of the things he say is cool.
How he's gotten a platform, I don't know.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That man's got over 1 million followers now.
It's because of the things he says and because it's so detrimental towards people of color. So they give him a pedestal so he can speak for them.
I got you. But I have to beg to differ. I agree with you on some of the things you said, because some of that shit he needs been saying, like about T.I.'s son, how he killed him and all that. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. That is ridiculous. Now, the things about, criminals and some of the music that we listen to, I can get with some of that. Because some of the rap is real, some of the shit just too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck if Young Thug and Gun and them were doing what they were doing. If they kill somebody, they need to go to jail.
Yeah.
If we was in Africa and in our home country, if you did something like that, you still gonna go to jail. So right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right is right, wrong is wrong.
But we're so confused and mixed up in America, we don't know our ass from our elbows. That's why you got people talking about us like him. You got guys like Kanye trying to scream out. First off, Kanye should have never got with Kim Kardashian. That was the biggest mistake. Every man she did touch, from Reggie Bush all the way down to him, is the Kardashian curse.
That's between him and God.
True that, true that. But some of the things he was saying is true about the Jewish people. We're the original Jews in this world. I'm not trying to go too crazy with it.
They who shall not be named.
They who shall not be named.
We cannot
I have to get. I have to get.
They who shall not be named.
Now you totally could be out of this. You can totally be out of this, and you ain't necessarily got to agree with everything I'm saying. But I know this to be true. Everybody read it. Hell, the Jews read the Bible. They know. They know. But it's about power. It's about industry in a lot of ways. All of these other black celebrities, athletes that are going against these people who are telling the truth are afraid of their Madison Avenue connections and afraid of their Wall Street connections and afraid of their brands being hurt.
It's something.
So crazy.
It's something that's been utilized from when we were first brought here. This division thing. So it's like, honestly, if everyone had stood up behind Kyrie Irving and been like, "Yeah, drop the ball," what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do if everyone walks away? If everyone walks out onto the court and then walks right back out, what are they going to do?
Come on.
What are they going to punish everyone?
Come on.
There won't be a season.
If they
there won't be a season.
They sat there and said, "Okay, y'all want to all renege on all y'all contracts? We'll all sue y'all," and they just put a whole bunch of white guys in there to play. Watch the viewership drop. And not saying that if it was all white people playing football, it wouldn't be interesting.
No, we're gonna have a bunch of Russian imports. That's what's gonna happen.
I have to get with you on that. They do something.
They're gonna have
in order to try to, you know.
I really feel
we
like
move pop culture.
That is what makes us different from every other group, is that it's so easy to divide us. It's so easy to drop something in the bucket and just watch us, choose sides, and then that's it. This whole thing with Kanye, I really feel, for me, he's for himself. Anytime he opens for his mouth, if it's not benefiting Kanye, then he won't speak on it. There's a lot of stuff that he stayed quiet on. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that he was silent on. He spoke up about what the White Lives Matter thing to get the attention. Now everybody's talking about Kanye. Then he says this flagrant stuff about those who shall not be named, and then that's how he was able to get out of his deal. He didn't do that for anyone but himself. He wanted to get out of that deal. So he said this wild stuff to get out, not caring that it would affect anyone.
All of his businesses as well.
All the people working for him.
Get out the Adidas deal?
I think he was trying to get out of his Adidas deal and also just have attention. I think that's his main drug of choice. He should take the medication they prescribed him and not just take attention. I'm sorry. Take your meds, hon. Take your meds.
Now, I think he's actually what he says he is. I think he is a genius in a lot of ways.
Yes.
I think he's one of the best artists, best writers in hip hop history.
Yes.
Producers in hip hop.
Yes.
The clothes ain't necessarily.
Yeah, the rags not so much.
Kind of remind me of fucking. I don't know if you remember Ben Stiller was in that damn. He was what was he, a model? What was that? Damn?
Oh yeah, was it Zoolander?
Zoolander, and this fucking Will Ferrell had this shit called Derelict. It was like some derelicts. It was like bums. I said, that's Kanye must have watched that movie and decided
to do that and try to make that something.
I couldn't
but
believe
it was
clothes.
Like hobo chic. I couldn't get behind it.
I couldn't either. Trash bags. He looked like Missy Elliott and I Can't Stay in the Rain video. Boom, 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 boom.
Except she did it way better. Sorry.
Exactly. But he made $1 billion on doing that.
That's wild.
Now I'm gonna tell you right now, it wasn't us that helped him get that money.
And I think that's where a lot of hip hop is. They're looking at it like, we're not the ones, buying the records supposedly, or it used to be that way at least.
You guys are.
We used to bootleg and everything.
Women are the ones who buy music.
I buy music. Yeah. I buy all my music.
No men buy music. We dupe it, we borrow it. I know that to be true.
I buy all my music, and I go to concerts. I prefer to go to a concert and hear my favorite artist than go to a club and spend $1,000 on the table, $400 for a bottle.
You know why God was going with you. Now he did enjoy the concert, but he's thinking about after the concert. I'm guaranteed I know what I'm talking about. Now, when I went to Lupe Fiasco's concert, I actually went with my cousin. I love Lupe. We was there. We enjoyed it. We tried to chop it up with some people, but I was there for Lupe. But 9 times out of 10, if you go to a concert with a woman, you want Maxwell or whoever you're going to see to woo the shit out of her, get her a few martinis or whatever, and get her to the crib after. We had a good time there with baby. Pull your panties off. You know, we had dinner too. See, especially today, because I know you go through that a lot. You said it yourself. Conversations is lacking.
There's no conversation.
It ain't like somebody's gonna take you to the terrace afterwards, and y'all sitting on the terrace having a drink and maybe something to eat and having a great conversation that might lead to sex. It might, if you show.
And I'm gonna say this, not for nothing, women want it too. Yeah, we do want sex, but it's like it's for everyone. Unless, let me tell you something. If a woman, listen,
I gotta hear this.
Listen.
I gotta hear this.
If you meet a girl and she's like, oh, this, that, and the third. And she expresses to you that she wants this, and she wants this, and you feel like, okay, if I give her these things, I'm gonna get sex, and she gives you the sex. That's what it is.
That's what it was.
That's what it is. But it's like if you get with a woman and she's actually interested in you as a person, wants to hear what you have to say, wants to bounce ideas off of you, then that's different. And there may be something deeper there, but that's the thing. These guys are so shallow; they don't want none of that. They don't want any of it.
Are you on any dating apps?
I was, but I had to escape. Like right now, one of my emails is like 20,000 from like people just like so and so says hi.
How many of them are deep pics?
I don't. I deleted the app from my phone, but the emails are still coming in. So yeah, I don't even go to that email anymore. It's
unfreaking real.
It's unfortunate. I'm not for online dating. I don't like the apps. I think it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to be bombarded by so many people, and it's like you don't get an opportunity to even have a conversation to see who you're speaking with. Because then, what's the goal, right? To eventually meet up with this person. But if you don't know them because you just entertain 20 other people on the app, it's a lot. And I feel like that's the issue here. It's like no one's slowing down and taking time to just like be interested in a particular person. If things don't work out, okay, move on then. But it's like no one's living in the moment. Everyone's like I'm here talking to you, but I'm looking over your shoulder at the next guy coming. Like, oh man.
What happened to people meet like we met?
I don't know.
Because I do that all the time. I've had people tell me I'm on Instagram. I'm like, you right here though.
You know what? It's just I think social media has made communication obsolete. Guys, they don't know how to speak to women, and a lot of women only want not a lot. Let me roll that back because that is the brush that they keep painting us with.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm over it. I'm this close. I already bought some plants. I'm about to be like inside for like the rest of the season because I'm over it. I'm over it. It's like, yes, you have women that are materialistic and want this, that, and the third, but there's a vast majority of us that are professionals, that end up getting treated like women that are on Instagram, that are, doing the things they do. And it's like, if guys are used to being able to put money down and get what they want, and then they put money down in front of me, and I'm like, oh, well, here's my stack of money. They don't know what to do. And it becomes like a place of contention. It's just like, well, okay, well, if I got this money, you got this money, how about we put it together and do something? No, they want to, it becomes all of a sudden I'm too aggressive and I'm too this. And I'm like, but no, like, I just need you to know that money don't make me move. Money's a tool. It's not the goal. It's a tool.
Yeah.
For them.
Just for goods and services, baby. That's it. And really, to be honest, money is to be saved. I didn't learn that shit until late in life. Putting that shit away is what's up.
Saved and invested. Invested. You know,
you guys know that. You're 30. I'm 56. You're already telling me that. So I love the fact that you're on the same page as most people who end up having something.
I think this generation, my generation in particular, has woken up to the idea that you can have money, make money for you, as opposed to like doing what our forefathers did and just punching in every day and just working really hard.
That's all I was told coming up. I'm a baby boomer, so everybody was talking about do something solid. My mother used to say, "Oh, you want to act now? You better go to school. You better get a job or
school
go to college."
The promise that it used to be.
It's not.
It's a guaranteed debt.
I think it's a fucking bill of goods, to be honest with you, because they've been doing that to us for a long, long time. People are starting to see now, and let me tell you, what did he call them again?
Those who shall not be named.
Those who shall not be named. I love that shit. It sounds like a fucking creature.
there's a powers that be, and then there's those who shall not be named.
Who really run it all.
If you speak on them, it's a wrap for you and anything that you try to achieve. And it's crazy that especially for people of color, especially for people of color, because other people can say flagrant stuff about them and their careers aren't over. But if it's one of us, it's done.
Do you think the blacks who can get away with that are on their team, and it's just like they're trying to do a yin and yang thing? We need a black that talks about us or at least speaks upon us, and we'll let him say certain things, and we're not gonna fuck with him. There's people out there like that.
Absolutely.
What's that dude name that's on Fox? A fat dude. I can't think of his name.
Just about anybody on Fox is like Fugazi.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sure. Especially if you're black.
Man,
if you black, you know, on Fox News, Fox Business, Fox. Period. Now I'll be on Fox sitcom for sure though. I'll be like, give me that money, take that shit and give it to my people. But
if you're gonna do that, you can't speak about them folk. You know
nothing.
That. You can't say it.
You're a Fox employee now. You fired.
You can't say nothing. You cannot. So it really it's a politicking.
Well, being that LA is such a big and whack ass place, a lot of times. I ain't gonna lie, I'm from here. I grew up here, Crenshaw High, class 84. This place changed, and I'm talking to y'all now. She's looking dead at me. Anybody who lives in California know this place has changed. But I'll tell you, people in LA, you got it way better than you think. I don't give a fuck how shitty it is here, how high it is here. Move to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Move to Michigan. Move to Detroit. Move to New York, for that matter, which is thriving right now. New York's doing good. It's a fucking rat race. I've been to each one of these cities. And it's fucking crazy. Yeah. It make LA seem. That's why when people from those cities come here, like the guy I used to work with, Tony TV, he said LA is country to him.
Yeah, it's a little slower than New York. I used to live in the Bronx.
One of the worst boroughs.
Listen, we gonna fight.
One of the worst boroughs.
I love the Bronx.
Fort Apache, the Bronx, the movie was about that damn police station that was in the Bronx that was under fucking siege. What police station was under siege? They shot it up.
Listen, you know what? That just goes to show the people that's there. At some point, you're gonna push us too far, and you're gonna get it, no matter who you are.
That's true.
No matter who
that's
you
true.
are.
I'm telling you.
I feel like of all the places that I've lived, because I've lived here, gone to school here, lived in New York, gone to school in New York, lived in Loxahatchee, Florida, which is like a little part of Royal Palm Beach in Florida.
That's close to my boy just committed suicide down there. Yeah, Chris Rogers. I heard about it. It broke my heart. He's a white guy, kung fu master. But that's what really threw me. He really can fight.
Yeah.
And he know that shit. He lived in China and studied. And he just couldn't take it no more. I'm telling Lakeland. Lakeland, Florida is where he was. And he moved from Cal. Let me tell you a little story about him. You meet people in life, no matter what color they are, because there's certain people that are going to be close to your heart because you know they'll genuinely look in their eyes and tell that nigga take a bullet from me. That's what's weird. I'm like, damn, Christopher probably get shot.
Like he's a real one.
Man, I was doing bad some years back, and my birthday is Labor Day weekend every year. And he remembered that and called me. And at that particular time, I was staying with some guys couch surfing. I was fucked up. I ain't never been on drugs and no shit like that, but I was doing economically bad at the time. And he called me up, and I was like, hey, what's up, Chris? He was like, yo, bro. He said, I stay with my roommate is a psychiatrist, very rich. He got a condo in Malibu. So he said, come through. I got Jared coming. I got his girlfriend. And the water came up under the top. I'm just laying on the couch, and you could hear the ocean. It was the funnest fucking time. And I'm sitting on the thing, and I'm watching a guy parasail by. He's waving. I'm like, this shit, white people live like.
Like, this is dope.
And that was a simple spot. It wasn't like, it was just something, it was upstairs, downstairs. And it was beautifully set up and everything. Had the little key to the private gate go down and the private beach. Nobody else can come over here. I was like, this shit is dope. I was like, you doing all this, but you steady complaining about you ain't got no girl. You want everything, shape, everything. He just couldn't talk to women.
Yeah.
And when he would find one, I think the women would see his
iniquities. Like he wasn't really super competent for a guy that could kick anybody's ass. He was just a bumbler when it came to girls. And we met another guy who was big like me, Brian Lewis. We all used to do security together at this club. And Brian and him became fast friends. And I actually didn't see Chris as much. And then he ended up going to China, came back and moved down to Lakeland, Florida. And when I would talk to him, he's like, man, I'm going to start this gym. And I'm going to start teaching Kung Fu down here. I'm like, bro, I'm all for it. I hope everything happens for him and everything. His son went to the Navy. His daughter's down there. So I thought he was set. I get a call from Brian. He's like, bro, Chris committed suicide.
That's unfortunate. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
like, what?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it threw me for a loop. Now, I couldn't cry then, and I couldn't even cry when my sister's body was found. My sister was tragically killed. She was on drugs for many. That's my only sibling, too. Now, this is hard for me to talk about on the show. Obviously, I ain't going to break down or nothing because I've got to a point where I accepted that. And I could go into the circumstances about it, but I won't because I know her sons, my nephews, who I've gotten very acquainted with. They live down in Atlanta. I'm not going to speak on the details because that's like mama and my sister,
Yeah.
So I'm sure they probably either watching this, and if they're not, I mean, it is what it is. But what's up? If y'all watching Dripping Blood, friggin' Ben and Chris and fucking Tim and John, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. I hope y'all support the show. I support y'all show too. Go to the God damn it, what's the name of this? The Multiverse, Brothers Multiverse, I believe that's what it's called, on YouTube. The Brothers Multiverse is a real cool little podcast they got going. They're talking about Marvel stuff, and they really into that, which I am too, but I don't think I could do a show.
I'm gonna link with you guys because I'm definitely a nerd as
well. Oh,
absolutely.
Man, they call me the gangster nerd. So you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of nigga to do models, all that Star Wars, everything. I'm in the Lord of the Rings and everything.
I love Lord of the Rings. Yay!
See, girl, you can't be saying all that. Can't be saying all that. And you
Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
Oh shit!
Anything anime? Like yes, absolutely.
Oh my lord! Anime too?
Absolutely.
What?
Yep.
So if I say this one name, we get married.
Oh God.
You like Goku?
I like Goku, but I think I do like Vegeta more a little bit.
Well, everybody has their favorites.
I like Vegeta.
I like the other one that came with the tail.
I don't like that Goku let Piccolo raise his son. Like, bro,
I didn't like that.
You should have been here.
Now his son's the most powerful one out of all of them.
Not anymore, but
he's a what kind of saying is Goku now? He's like he's more than a Super Saiyan.
He's like God mode,
something like that.
Blue hair, all that. I didn't keep up with it. It got too far. It got too far.
I like Naruto and things like that. This one, the one about the robot.
Gundam.
Gundam.
Of course, Gundam.
Oh my God, Jesus.
What?
Big something.
Big O.
Big O. That's
Big O was pretty good.
I like Big O, and then the little robot girl that control. That shit was tight. You see, Japanese anime is weird, but it's entertaining.
It's weird, but I think they're able to introduce concepts that can only be seen up here, and I think that's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so great.
Fuck you come from? You like from the planet everybody needs. That's what the name of the planet is. Everybody needs you.
I'm from the planet Nemesis.
Let's go. I am so happy.
If you watch Sailor Moon, you know what that is.
Sailor Moon. Oh, shit.
I'm from Nemesis.
She probably used to watch Jim.
Actually, I did not like Jim.
Oh, you like Jim?
I didn't like Jim.
Now, hold on. Now, I'm going to ask everybody on here. Who used to watch fucking Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
That's my shit. I hate to be talking about
I like it because they always went into history, and I think history is the most underrated subject in our education system in this country.
I agree.
Because it's a cycle, and so much of it repeats.
It's revisionist too. It's been revised as well.
Like, look at it this way, like I'm about to get into some stuff that I shouldn't be speaking on again, but it's Lord. If we're gonna look at history and understand the cycles that it encompasses, look at how the Western world is built, right? The Western world is built on Greco-Roman culture, Greek culture, democracy, Greek philosophy, which is actually Egyptian.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God. You
Which is
put 'em on
actually
blast like that. That's
listen,
the truth.
with it, which is actually Egyptian. They modeled themselves after that, but that's another story. But it's like if you look at Greek culture, there's a lot on the dark side of Greek culture that is actually in existence today. For example, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of those philosophers were gay. They were gay. Virgil was gay. They're gay. So if we're modeling our Western society after Greek culture, I think we're doing a pretty damn good job.
So Socrates was gay.
I think so. If they weren't,
Aesop,
they had little boys.
Aesop too.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, Aesop used to say a lot of proverbs. You remember at the end of what's the little boy with the little dog used to talk with the glasses? They made a movie about it. Mr. Peabody and
Oh yeah.
now at the end of those cartoons, they would have an Aesop quote or
I
fable.
haven't seen that. My son actually
And
watched
he's
that.
Greek as well.
Uh-huh.
So I think we have a lot of Roman influences in America too. When you look at some of the Capitol buildings all around the country,
Absolutely.
with the columns and the way they're carved. See, it seems like to me, to America, borrowed a lot of stuff from other cultures.
Yes.
And brought them here, and I believe they were trying to make it seem like because we're a melting pot, which we really aren't. On the surface, it may seem that way.
Yeah, but there's definitely divisions. But you know what? I'll say that it goes by where you live. Los Angeles is actually pretty segregated. New York, not so much.
You think so?
Yes. I lived in a building. There were Indian people. There were white people. A lot of Puerto Ricans. We were the only Jamaicans in there. There were some Africans downstairs. And it's like we all lived. We all worked.
Here.
In New York.
In New York, okay.
In New York. Here, not so much. Everything is definitely segregated. So I really think it depends on where you are as far as that whole melting pot thing. The only place where we actually really melt is maybe with food. Like people will definitely go and eat some food from there. But overall, most people kind of stay to themselves. It's not really a melting pot like they say. And definitely these individual communities are not looking out for people from other communities.
Oh, no.
For sure.
Not in LA that I've seen.
The melting is not necessarily
They come
there.
together. Well, when do you think we do come together as different cultures? At cultural events? I'll put it to you this way. When we have like the Taste of Soul, you get a whole, out here in LA, you get a whole spectrum of people coming to that. But I think that's just to dip their feet in the water, I think.
I'll tell you why, because Black culture is universal. That's pretty much
we
what
are
it is.
pop culture.
We are American culture. Black people are American culture.
I believe that.
Pretty much. If you remove Black people from here,
what about if you're doing the polka?
Not the polka, exactly. The polka. They'll be doing waltzes. They'll be
river dancing.
Not even square dancing because country came from Black people too. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that line dancing ain't nothing but doing the hustle, or doing whatever that other dance is.
That's really what it comes down to. That's where anything can intersect within entertainment, within music, within anything that's Black culture. But Black people for real and our issues for real, they don't want to hear nothing of it. And we're crazy and we're being belligerent and we need to be subdued, without them understanding that them doing all of that is what makes us, it sucks, but makes us produce some of the most beautiful music that we do, the most beautiful, works of art and things comes out of our oppression, out of the nonsense that we have to put up with on a regular basis as people. It's how we cope. It's our therapy because we're not given therapy. It's how we cope.
Yeah,
it's through our music. It's through our culture.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
The reason why people like Stevie Wonder can come up with the songs of the Key of Life double album, which I had when I was a kid. Some of the most amazing music. Protest. A lot of people don't give Stevie Wonder his respect because he low-key done had protest music for a long time. Saying stuff, and then they still celebrate him. They be thinking, he didn't really say what I think he said, and they'll clap anyway. But all the time,
it's the delivery. It's delivery.
There you go.
That's what it comes
There you
down
go. When it comes out from him, it don't sound like he's saying nothing bad about nobody.
Yeah, but if it comes from Kanye or someone else, that's kind of like, if it comes from a Black woman, forget it.
You can hang it up.
Forget it.
You can hang it up. I think you guys, but to be honest with you, the only reason why Black women are, not saying that you guys are not smart enough, not capable enough, you way exceed.
We're very divided.
Exactly. So I think taking males and turning them into criminals, black males turning them into criminals, not letting them be the heads of their household, has tainted, I believe, some black women's views of black men. I want them to realize what's been done to us psychologically.
All of us.
You know,
because understand that when the black male is removed, we are now unprotected. We don't have anyone that we can be like, hey.
To rely, yeah.
So it forces us into a role that we are not really, natural.
Yeah.
It's not natural for us, but it's like we have to now. So it's.
How hard is that for you now that you mentioned that, being a mom? And where is he, matter of fact?
Oh, he's around.
He's in the win.
No, he's not in the win. He's
around.
Is
he, you know?
He's definitely a part of the children's lives.
Oh, good.
Definitely. Good. I will say that it's definitely part of the children's lives, but you know, I've never ever felt that I was safe. And that's like one of the main things, as I think as a man, that you should be able to do is guarantee safety, you know, for your woman, guarantee safety, everything else.
In what way? Are you talking about physical safety or just life?
Listen, physical safety, emotional safety, mental safety, financial safety somewhere at the bottom of the list, but everyone thinks that's supposed to be at the top. No, all these other safeties come before that, because then that can always be worked on. That's something that can change.
If your relationship,
that's something that you can build and work on. Financial safety, something you guys can build and work on. Everything else, though, you got to bring it as a man. And these niggas ain't doing it. They're not. They're not.
Give me your top 5 things you want in a guy. Now, I'm asking somebody that is fine this question, because I can ask any woman, but I'm asking somebody that is desired by men. What, and that don't have one. That's what's so crazy. It's not a steady. I don't know who you dating or whatever, but you know, I'll put it to you this way: somebody as gorgeous as you. What are your standards? What are you looking for? The way you talk, it don't seem like something that's so out of reach for a man. So what is it?
It's not, but it's just like I said, no one's willing to do the hard work because everyone's afraid of what the guys around them is gonna think. Everyone's afraid of being a simp. That's like yeah.
Really?
Everyone's afraid of being
to be good to your woman and take care of her.
It's a simp. It's a simp. You a simp. Oh, you bought her flowers. You a simp. Oh, she called you and you actually answered. You a simp.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the world we're living in right now, and it's just like it makes me sad. It just makes me realize, like, you know what? I can find happiness within myself. I can find happiness with my children. I can find happiness elsewhere, because it's not necessarily going to be found there, because these people are for themselves. Top 5 things. Number 1, like, we got to be able to have a conversation. If I cannot talk to you, it's going to be over really fast. When I say fast, I will get up and I will walk out. I will walk out. I'll be like, you know what? I'll be right back. I've done it.
Gotcha.
You can't, like, we have to be able to have an intelligent conversation. That's probably like my number 1 and my number 2, because it's so hard. It's so hard.
So you would just change the question for number 2, but it'd be basically the same thing.
The same thing as number 1. Because
communication is key.
For me, that's number 1.
I'll do it for you. Number 1, communication is key. Number 2, key is communication.
Key is communication. Thank you.
Go ahead. Number 3?
Number 3, I think I would like some emotional intelligence. So I don't want to see you, you know, say off the wall things and expect, you know, a either no reaction or some reaction that's unnatural. You know, not to say like I'm not gonna bounce off the wall, because then my other issue, I'm gonna say my number 1 toxic trait is I have a delayed reaction. It's like you'll say something crazy and I'll be like, okay, and I'm not okay. And it's like it's gonna roll around for a little bit and I'm gonna dissect it, analyze it, and then you're just gonna come home to an empty house. Like, wow. Yeah, like that's probably my number.
So you have no tolerance for bullshit syndrome.
It's not even that. I will tolerate, because what you have to do is be able to explain yourself. Because I feel like if you can say, well, this is why, then I can see where you're coming from. But if you're unwilling to communicate, so I guess that's number 3 too, is communication. Like, gosh, like, open your mouth.
So just say communication is key.
Communication is key. And it's just like a lot of what I've encountered, again, it's superficial. I don't know if it's because I'm attractive. They think that's all all there is to it. It's not. I swear, like my sister-in-law went to Dubai and I was just like, bring me some hijabs. She brought me, yeah, I'm like dead ass. I was like, bring me some hijabs. She brought me the hijabs and like I walked around in them and like I felt that the people that I communicated with were finally just interested in me and what I had to say, you know, as opposed to, you know, and it's just, it's sad.
Well, I harped on that. I harped on that a lot. You took it well. And the little conversations we were having back and forth in the car dealership was intriguing. There wasn't nothing major or no shit like that. But I made you laugh.
You did. You did.
And
if you can make me laugh, honey, that's how
I thought I was in there.
I'm here.
Yeah, but I thought I was in there.
Listen, I met you once before in my entire life, and here I am sitting with you.
True,
again.
And the amazing thing is, I reached out. I mean, we had talked a couple times after that, and didn't talk anymore. I told you I was in the valley. You were in the valley too. I knew that. Van Nuys to be exact, right?
Actually, no. My friend is. I'm not in the valley.
Oh, really? Where? I ain't gonna say. Off camera, I asked.
Off camera.
Off camera. But to me, you are genuinely cool and uniquely interesting because you women are funny as hell these days. I think because of the way guys are, like you have been mentioning, that they're real put off by being approached. Not necessarily by me. And when I approach people, a lot of times they commend me on my approach. They be like, "You really was cool." You know what I'm saying?
You slid right in it.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying, you know, and I'll be trying to figure out as I'm watching certain people, how am I gonna come in? So I'm real conscious of that because I came from a time where it was important to be able to greet a woman and to let her know you ain't no.
They trying to approach us like a pimp named Slickback. Like, it's like,
hey, yeah, girl.
No. My favorite is WYD. What you doing? Like nothing.
Wait.
Oh, I hate
They walk right up to you and say, "What you doing?"
Like, well, what you getting into? What you like? What?
What are you talking about? I don't know you. Why would I tell you that? Hi, how are you? My name's Dexter. I just wanted to come up and tell you.
It's like all of these guys failed English. They didn't take literature or anything. It's so freaking frustrating.
The flip of the hair should tell you everything.
Frustrating, like God,
frustrating.
kill me.
I can't stand these assholes.
I can't.
See, I'm gonna have to use some of this shit on my stand-up.
It's to where I'm thinking like, man, do I have to go to like Europe? Do I have to leave this country to find a genuine guy that's interested in being a man, and playing his role? Listen, these guys want to be women these days. They want to be wined and dined. And look, I don't mind. Listen, pause. I don't mind, but there has to be some reciprocity. And it's just like, a lot of these guys are just like, they're down to just take and not really give anything back.
I see it. I've heard it.
Sucks.
I've heard it.
It just sucks.
The one thing that really pisses me off,
especially for professional women, it's just like, I can't tell you how many other women I know that have just like dealt with this thing where they're like, yeah, he just kind of sits there, and I'm just like, girl, what you mean? Like, yeah.
Sits there at home or
out? Like not just like well, one of them, yeah, he just kind of sits at home. The other ones are just like there's no engagement, there's no creativity. Once they feel like they have you, that's it. It's just like, no, you're supposed to never stop dating.
What's wrong with leaving it? I go let this go trip you out. Whether you like this or not.
I done did most of this bottle. Y'all about to get some truth. Y'all about to get some truth.
How does this grab you? Not necessarily, the guy ain't necessarily rich, but if you woke up in the morning, he went to work and he started making the bed and lift the bed up, it was a card, even though it's from the dollar store, you could tell.
What do you mean a card?
A card, like a card from him. You know, he goes to work and left you a little card under the bed talking about I love you and you're beautiful. How would you feel about that?
I would melt my heart.
That's the kind of shit I'm not saying that just
but they won't do that because
I would.
Listen. There's this, I've become aware when I was, still with my husband. I kind of like became aware of it, via the Facebook era. There was this group called Relationship 2.0. I'm gonna name them because they don't exist anymore. I think they kept getting shut down. But there was 125,000 members in this group, and the entire group was filled with what I learned, and this was the first time I was ever hearing about it, but incels, MGTOW, which is men going their own way, red pill, like all of these organizations of men that I guess are frustrated with their interactions with women, you know, and I'm just like I used to be in there like campaigning hard, like no, like, you know, they're calling, especially Black women. There's hear this out, right? So there's a faction of the manosphere, we're gonna call them, all these, you know, groups above named groups. Mm-hmm. There's a faction of the manosphere that wants a woman to be, you know, subservient and all that, and all, you know, the traditional, mm-hmm. I guess 50s, 1940s type of woman. And let me tell you something, there are women that will do it. Most of us are willing to do that if we feel safe.
Gotcha.
If I know that you're taking care of everything else, if I know that I can, you know, that you got it, that you're wearing that crown and you got it, absolutely. You're gonna come home, I'm gonna be vacuuming,
the whole shit.
It's gonna be ready, your bath water's gonna be ready. I did it, ask my husband.
But you have to play your part as a man. As
a man. Then there's this other faction of the manosphere that's like, oh well, you know, I could hire a maid, I could hire, you know, a chef, I could hire a hoe. You know, what are you bringing to the table? So then it's like that forces women to be like, well, hey, I got all these degrees. I make this, I'm that, you know, and then it's like, then there's this other faction of the manosphere that just hates women. And then there's another faction that just hates Black women, specifically dark-skinned Black women, which I identify with. I'm not very dark, but I'm not light-skinned.
You ain't dark at all to me. Lupita Nyong'o is dark.
Listen, she's so beautiful today. She's so beautiful.
Let me tell you something about that girl's lips. What is wrong with her lips? She got the prettiest eyes and the most sexy lips I've ever seen. And African women are bad. They are fine as hell. And
flawless skin.
Go over there to Africa, you'll see the biggest behinds. They ain't nothing.
And they natural.
Natural as hell. You know, we're amazing. Now, everything that you see today when it comes to body formication, it is all due to us.
It's all in. It's a crazy thing is that we have these guys that will speak so badly about Black women, and then date a woman that's imitating us, date a woman that's following Beyonce, date a woman that's following Cardi B, date a woman that's following Megan Thee Stallion, date a woman that's following Trina, date a woman that's following nothing. If you look on her Instagram, she's not even following the Kardashians like that. She's following them, but not really, because the Kardashians are actually following these women too.
Exactly.
You know, they're now sculpting their bodies down and trying to, like, you know, get back down to that slimmer physique that's coming back in now.
Yeah.
They're, you know,
but with big tits and ass with a slim waist.
You know, slim waist. And they've actually toned down their butts a little bit.
You are so goddamn fine. You got a natural body.
Thank you.
And when I saw her, look, you shouldn't have worn what you wore today. It was
jeans and a shirt.
You look like
it was jeans and a shirt.
Let me put it this way. There's a drug that some women take called no acetol.
But you know what? I don't have a whole lot.
You on the other hand.
Little booties matter. Okay.
Yeah, but you've been taking that drug. You've been taking that drug that helps solidify the curves of the behind.
Of course.
And then you got the flowing hair. You should have came in here with the pair of faucets.
I know. I was like, I gotta wear it down today because I like my
Black Charlie's Angels up.
Like I have a signature ponytail. Anyone sees me there, Kitty, why you always wear your hair in a ponytail? I'm like, because it's out of my way.
And the hoop
and the main reason is because when you're driving, the hair hits you in your face. So I always keep it in a ponytail. That's the main reason. That's why.
You notice it always goes back to you driving 3 million miles an hour.
No.
Hey, everybody! I see everybody on the chat, man. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. I mean, this chat is like crazy on here. I love y'all. Slim is on there too. I see you, Slim. Hey, Slim, thanks for helping, bro, with the sound. I appreciate y'all. It's getting to that wee hour to where we usually wrap this up.
Yeah.
And this time I'm gonna do something very unusual. I ain't trying to do no DMX imitation and no bullshit like that. But because of her being here today, I want to give thanks to the Almighty and say a little quick prayer. And I also want to do this in lieu of all the hip hop artists that have been slain and killed over the last 10 years. Let's go back 10, y'all.
Yeah.
Now, if you go on YouTube and put in YouTube all the rappers that have died over the last 10 years, over the last decade, you're going to be so shocked.
It's so unfortunate.
So we're talking males, females, and guess what color they are?
Black.
You got white rappers out there. You know what white rappers are doing? Taking their motherfucking asses home.
Yeah. Staying out the street.
You ain't finna see, what's the boy name that's popping off right now with the curly hair, the white boy?
Jack Harlow.
Him and you and that nigga's at home.
He's at home.
Man, first class.
He's at home.
Let me say this now. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for letting me have this wonderful, wonderful young lady on my show today. The Corner Store podcast is actually a reality. No matter how many bugs we have and sound issues, we still gonna keep it popping and having wonderful, intelligent, beautiful guests just like Miss Kitty, who I am honored to have here today. And I want to thank you in Jesus' name, pleading blood, to continue to watch over her, her family, all my friends and relatives, and all the people who are on our live right here on YouTube. Continued success to everybody, whether you're on the live or not. And we continually love you, Lord, and going to praise you and hold you up and exalt you. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank you, Father. And I want to thank everybody for coming to the show. Thank you so much, baby.
Thank you.
You are so wonderful. And while we're going out, I'm going to play a little KG Hustle on the way out. If you don't know who that is my son. He got music out there that I wouldn't mind y'all checking out. Now, I know I'm going a little slow putting this shit on, but I don't give a fuck. I'm the type of person that hold on. I know what I want. Oh, this shit is off. It's off, but it's all right. Hold on. We'll get it on. Oh shit.
I think it died. Did it?
Come on, play. Come on, play. Come on, play. This motherfucker is low as hell. Oh, she changed the channel.
I didn't change the channel. I didn't do it. You did it.
Did I?
You did it.
See, you did it.
How'd I do it?
Because you keep hitting.
I pressed the plus. There we go.
I don't know why. Sorry. We lit. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We had a few bugs today. Thank Miss Kitty SRT for being here.
Kitty SRT.
She
Mopar
could have been
Madness.
Mopar Madness. Tell them about your car club right quick. Let's go. Mopar Madness.
Mopar Madness.
If you see them out there on the street, don't try to race them because you're going to get dusted. Don't be an asshole and snitch. Thank y'all again. Corner Store Podcast this Sunday, November the 6th, 2020. We appreciate you. We love y'all. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay real and out there and stay safe in these streets. It's your boy, Dex 300. We out of here. You know I'm gonna get the check. And thank y'all. Deuces.
Thank you so much.